Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to discuss Felo. That's F-E-L-O. I don't know if it's pronounced Fellow or Philo, but I'm just going to go with Fellow because I don't know the proper pronunciation. And Fellow it's an interesting chatbot and conversational search engine. So you can think of it as kind of an alternative to ChatGPT or Perplexity. And what's particularly interesting to me is that it's actually Japanese. So the company is based in Japan. And in my experience, the past 2 or 3 years, almost the majority of the major AI companies would be American or Chinese or even French. Uh, and I think it's great to have a new country as a competitor. And I'm very interested to try this out. And there's some really interesting features of this, like making mind maps, which is basically like a some kind of interesting infographic for learning, or just yeah, I think it's very interesting. I'll show you what it is later. I'll show you some examples, and yeah, I'm just gonna go through, do an overview of Fellow, and show you what it's like. So right now, if you just go to fellow.ai, it'll look something like this. I made a free account, but actually you don't need to make a free account. You can still use this without a free account, but you might not be able to save things, and also there might be some limitations, but you can make a free account, and that's what I recommend doing for now. Okay, so and let me first read this, read about um, read about Fellow AI. So it says, introducing the Fellow AI search engine. Fellow AI is a chatbot-style search engine that allows users to enter questions in natural language and uses generative AI technology to gather information from multiple sources and provide answers. This AI search engine combines artificial intelligence and web search to help users find useful information quickly and effectively by generating accurate answers and clearly indicating information sources. So that's just like Perplexity. And the only other source I could find about Fellow, interestingly, was in Mandarin Chinese. So this is in traditional Chinese, and this is basically Taiwanese. So I won't read the Chinese out loud, but I'll just kind of translate here. So it says, Fellow is a Japanese. It's a company founded by these two companies, Sparticle and Fellow, and it basically uses AI tech. And down here it says Fellow Search uses like I think this says it's a freemium model, and the free version uses their own LLM. And these characters mean LLM. It means large language model, and then this means NLP, natural language processing. And then the paid version has access to GPT-4o and OpenAI o1, which they're both from OpenAI. Cloud 3.5, that's from Cloud, and Llama 3.1, that's from Meta. And I'll link to this article in the description. And it also points to Perplexity. And as I mentioned, I made a video about Perplexity before. And it's a conversational search engine. And I guess Fellow is kind of an alternative to it. And if you wanted a translation of those, you can see that here. And I'll briefly, again, it's an AI chatbot empowered conversational search engine. Okay, and it uses the standalone large language model and natural language processing capabilities, while the paid version uses has access to those. Okay. All right, now let's go back to Fellow. Okay, so the main page has something like this, and it has random things like here, what is Fellow AI, the latest trends on TikTok, and let's click on this here. What are the latest popular trends on TikTok? I'm curious to see what that is. So it says understanding the question, and I guess it's going to be searching. And as of February 2025, here are some of the trends. With most Aura trend, Pepe the King Brown Prawn, Carousel trend, Crazy that my body can't tell the difference trend. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. And one thing that I do like, this is a very interesting feature in my opinion, mind map. So it can actually make a mind map from the output, and I think that's super, super cool. So this is what a mind map is. You can think of it as kind of an infographic basically for helping you learn better. This is a popular method for people to study better or learn better. And I think this is very interesting. And you can share the link, so you can get a link and share it. And you can also download it. And I want to show you what downloading looks like. Okay, so this is what the downloaded file looks like. It saved it as mind map, but I already had some files named that, so it made it that version. So here's the mind map, and I think that's very cool. So it has different, it can give you the output in a mind map, and I think that's super cool. Okay, this is what it looks like if you're saving just as text. And if you're saving as markdown, it'll, I'll show you here. Okay, so you can see the markdown here. And this is a website I use often. It does, you can convert markdown to HTML. So if you wanted to copy that, that makes it easier to read if you want to put it like in Google Docs or something like that. And I'll show you that. So if you had a blank document, you could just paste the output from the markdown. Okay, so that's that. So you can copy the output just like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or any other the major ones like Hugging Chat. So you can copy the answer as markdown or text, which I think is very cool, and you can make a mind map. Now let's go back through history. So okay, and I'll show you a question that I've already asked it. I said, teach me about the history of the Earth, and I think it gave a very good answer. It talked about different eons, geological eons. And one of the coolest things, again, is the mind map, in my opinion. So you can look at the mind map. It can generate. This was already generated, so that's why it was really fast. So you can download it on your computer. You can also share it. And look at here. So I think this is super cool, being able to learn like with a mind map. So it gives you the geological eons, formation of Earth. Okay, you got the 4 different eons, the key events, conclusion. And I do think that is really, really cool. And look here, you can collapse part of the mind map. I think that's so cool. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. And I just love that. And look, it's got the colors are good. So blue, yellow, green, red. Maybe they hired a designer or they just know how to make good mind maps, basically. I like this very much. Okay, and I have a file that I often ask different large language models to test the quality. So I'm going to ask this question. Describe the process of photosynthesis in plants. So that's actually a very complex answer, or it's a very complex question that would give a very complex, would need a complex answer, or it's a complicated question, okay? And often the large language models, I can give a very good answer. I can generally tell if that means they're pretty good. And so there's basically 2 measures I have. It's basically testing the quality and testing the speed. And the speed here is very good. Like I'll often deal with large language models that give very good answers, but they take forever. Like they might take more than 1 minute to give this answer, and this was given in just less than 5 seconds. So I think that's really amazing. So let's read what it says here. Photosynthesis is a vital biological process through which plants, algae, and certain bacteria convert light energy into chemical energy. So that's true, and I think this is a very good answer. Now let's go over the sources. So I mentioned it gives sources, and see it gives 10 more sources. So this is basically a large language model plus sources. So we can click on here, click on these links, these top 3, So it gives a link to National Geographic. That's a pretty short one. It gives this this is an educational site, a biology article, and it gives the chemical formula of chlorophyll or a chemical diagram. Okay, it's very complex. Okay, so I think that's a really good article to read. And this is a good infographic. So it links to some really good articles, and I really like that. And look here also, it gives the overall equation for photosynthesis. So it's carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy gives you this. And that's this is glucose and this is oxygen. So I think that's very good. Yeah, so this is, I mean, maybe it's already been trained on that because, it's a common thing in science or at least in biology. That would be something really important to know. Let's ask it another question here. Discuss the ethical implications of genetic engineering in humans. I'm curious to know what it thinks about that. Okay. Okay, so ethical implications are complex and multifaceted, encompassing a range of concerns from individual rights to societal impacts. As advances in technology like CRISPR have made genome editing more accessible, the debate surrounding its ethical use has intensified. Okay, so it gives some good perspectives. And let's see the mind map. I'd like to see it generate a mind map for this. So again, I think the mind maps are very beautiful. So we've seen blue, yellow, green, red, blue, yellow. I guess maybe it just has these 4 colors and it just reuses them. But I still think it's really cool. Okay, cool. So we can try different mind maps. I haven't seen this here. So this is sort of the default, and then you can choose a different background if you prefer. And maybe even you can, yeah, like a different design. I think that's really cool. So yeah, and you can play around with that, you can download it, you can share it, and so on. And let's ask it maybe one more question. Okay, so I'm going to ask it now a question that's personally useful for me. I want to get a job in data science or data analytics. Soon I'll have a degree in data science. Okay, so I asked it, give me tips for finding a job in data science or data analytics within 2 months. Give me everything I need to do daily, weekly, how much time I need to devote every day, and a plan of action. And give me the best sites for getting 100% remote job in data science or data analytics. So I previously asked this to DeepSeek or a variant of this question, and I want to see what Felo gives. So it's got to understand the question first. If it doesn't understand the question, it's kind of pointless. So this is where the real beauty of the conversational search engine and LLM comes in. So it gives daily tasks, 2 to 4 hours daily, job applications, networking, skill development, project work, networking events, okay, that's weekly, daily, time commitment, approximately 2 to 4 hours, total weekly commitment up about 15 to 20 hours a week. And it recommends these websites, which, yeah, I've checked out. I think I've checked out at least this one. General job boards. I'm familiar with LinkedIn, Glassdoor, and Indeed. Yeah, so I tried getting a job in Australia some time ago, and Indeed is big for that. LinkedIn is big. Anyway, so I think this is a really good answer. Data jobs, Coggle jobs, so it knows, and it gives these sources. So what company offers the best remote work in data analytics and data science? So I think that's really great. And then it gives these links for 100-hour journey to getting a data science job offer. Okay, so this was a video about Felo AI, a conversational search engine and chatbot based by a Japanese company. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.